Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and today I'm going to be talking to you all a little bit about my thoughts and impressions and kind of just overall talking about my experience with the Battlefield genre and series, I guess you can say. Now, historically, I've never been much of a Battlefield fan. I'll be straight up. I've respected the series. I thought it was neat. But I'll be honest, I'm pretty horrible at it. I mean, I'm bad at most games I play, but my experience with Battlefield specifically is I spawn and people kill me within about half a second, and anyone I see I can't kill, and I'm like running for 2 minutes, and then I get sniped from 5 miles away, and then I run for another 5 minutes, and I get sniped by someone from 2 miles away, and then I spawn again, and I get killed by someone who I didn't even see. And that's always been my frustrating Battlefield experience, man. And because of that, I've just never really enjoyed it. Now, I've owned a few of the Battlefield games. I actually have Battlefield 2 for the 360 in my collection. I actually really need to go back and play through that because I've always enjoyed the campaigns on them. And I thought the controls were smooth. I've respected the games. I've respected the mechanics. I've just never been good enough to enjoy them, honestly. But Battlefield 2 I do own. I own the first Bad Company, and I've played through it, I finished it, I enjoyed it. I didn't like the multiplayer on it, though, because I was horrible at it. Bad Company 2 I actually own, never played it. And I think Battlefield 3 and 4 I do own. Battlefield 3, I just played a little bit of it, didn't fuck with it too much, honestly. And Battlefield 4, now Battlefield 4, I actually picked that up quite recently because of the announcement of Battlefield 1. I was like, kind of want to play 4 for some reason. I don't know why. And I picked it up on Xbox One, played through it, and man, it is a damn good game. I thoroughly enjoyed that first-person shooter campaign, excellent first-person shooter campaign. Really, my only downside of that is it was extremely buggy. The campaign is known to be buggy, and it was kind of a phenomenon where every time they patched the multiplayer, the campaign broke even more. So I did experience a fair amount of bugs through the campaign, but I'd still recommend it. If you're wanting a quality-ass first-person shooter campaign, I could not recommend Battlefield 4 enough. That was a good game. And especially, as I said, I played on Xbox One, which is one of the worst platforms to play it on. Man, it wasn't bad. I really enjoyed it. And Battlefield Hardline, I didn't like the multiplayer on there. I kind of just watched a friend play it originally. But Hardline, I played through the campaign, thought it was good because the campaign looked interesting to me. So decided to pick it up at one point, played through it, really liked it. But Battlefield 1, I didn't even think I was going to play this beta, man. I did not even think I was going to do it because I thought it looked cool. Now, I've seen the trailers. I've seen some gameplay of it. And I was like, hey, Battlefield 1 looks pretty awesome. When it comes out, I'll probably play it at one point. It seems like it would be fun to play through the campaign, but I'm just not a Battlefield player, honestly. So I'm probably not going to get it for the multiplayer. Now, what happened was recently, the beta came, and one of my buddies, Tan Squid, he told me he downloaded it on Xbox One. I was like, oh, hey, if I download on Xbox One, you want to play it together? And I thought I was going to hate this thing, man. But I fired up my Xbox One, downloaded it, and you're watching the Xbox One footage right now. And honestly, this was some of the most fun I've had with a first-person shooter in a while. I was actually going out there. I was killing people. I was able to, recognize what I was doing. I felt like I was actually in control of my character. I mean, the squads and everything. It was a fun game. It was really well done. So far, I am thoroughly enjoying Battlefield 1. So I gotta say, this might be the first Battlefield game that I actually really do enjoy. I like the multiplayer on here. I genuinely enjoy the multiplayer, and I wanted more of it. And the campaign, I'm probably gonna want to play through the campaign at one point, because I will say this. Battlefield, the Battlefield series, is really, in my opinion, one of the few first-person shooter series that is coming out now and still coming out kind of steadily that releases a pretty good multiplayer component and a campaign component. I mean, you could kind of say the same for Call of Duty, but Call of Duty, it's up in the air. It really depends on who you talk to and all that. Even I myself, I'm normally more of a Call of Duty person, but the thing is, it's just I've always kind of seen Battlefield as the lesser of two evils, even though I've been more of a Call of Duty player, and I don't know, especially with the stuff that, Activision and Infinity Ward is doing this year where they're bundling Call of Duty 4 with Infinite Warfare and all. I don't even know when I'm going to get Infinite Warfare. If I buy Infinite Warfare, I'm buying it for Call of Duty 4. That's really all that I'm doing. But this Battlefield 1, I'll tell you this. If you're interested in first-person shooters, don't skip this thing over. Now, there were 2 modes that were available in the beta. There was only really one map. There was the Conquest mode, which is kind of just, controlling bases and all that. Huge mode, 64 players. Conquest was so fun, man. Absolutely loved Conquest, could not get enough of it. And then I played Rush mode. Now, Tan Squid and I only played, one round of Rush, and we weren't really feeling it. It was 24 players, but it almost felt like the map wasn't big enough in some aspects, even though it was still kind of a hardy-sized map. And I don't know, it wasn't as fun. For some reason, I really enjoyed that Conquest mode. Riding the horses was real cool. Riding in all the vehicles, the land vehicles, all the air vehicles, flying things around, driving and all that. Everything just felt so on point with this. I think my only thing was really, I kind of wish there was a third-person mode for driving those vehicles, which that might be kind of the Halo in me talking, I don't know. But I was having a real hard time driving them in first person. But then again, you also have to realize this is World War I, so these vehicles handled horribly in World War I. They're not nearly as refined as the fictional vehicles you're going to be flying around in the Halo series and all that, So I think they still did a pretty good job with it. Now, some people were questioning, I don't know, the authenticity of this and everything. Honestly, dude, you don't play a game for authenticity, man. You don't play that to go through this or like to substitute reading a book or anything. And one reason why I actually want to play through this game is because honestly, I don't know that much about World War I. We focused a lot on World War II, but I didn't really cover much of World War I. And while I'm not saying that this is going to be a supplement for learning about World War I, this would at least be an interesting way of kind of learning a little bit about it and getting the bigger picture of it. What type of weapons were used, how the combat kind of was set up, the time periods. And I'm sure with the campaign, they're going to do something that's kind of going to briefly overlaps the events of World War I from start to finish. So you're going to get a nice like 6-hour TLDR of it. And to me, that doesn't sound that bad. Like, I had seen some of the campaign footage, and it looks like a campaign I legitimately want to play through. And now after playing the beta, I'm like, I do want to pick up this game. But I'm going to tell everyone this, all right? Listen, I'm going to tell everyone this, and just please, please, please listen to me on this. Do not pre-order this game. I'm not pre-ordering this game. Even if you want to buy the game, and you definitely know 100% you're going to be playing this game, please don't pre-order it. And the reason why I say that is because remember how broken Battlefield 4 was and how long it took people to get it up and running again? Now, there's going to be people all over the place. They say, oh, well, no, I never had problems with it. Or I only had problems for the first 3 weeks. Or I only had problems for the first week of gameplay. The point is, it took over 6 months for the game to be patched after retail for it to be properly playable. And then that game, Battlefield Hardline, just kind of came out, and I think it had some issues, but I'm not 100% sure. But what I'm trying to say is Battlefield has never launched perfect. Even Battlefield 3, I heard, had its own issues. But Battlefield 4, that set a record, that set a precedent. So I'm just going to tell you all this. Even if you want to pick up Battlefield 1, just don't pre-order it. Just wait. Wait a bit, wait to hear some unbiased reviews, check with friends, check with family, check out, unbiased people's gameplay and all that stuff, and really see how the game stands. Because I don't want, people to go out and buy this game and they can't play it for the first 2 weeks. So even I myself, I think I probably will pick up this game at one point. To me, it's just kind of a question of what console or what platform I'm going to get it on, because I actually haven't played on PC yet, but we did download the PC build of it, so we're going to try that out. But we might get it on PC. I'm not sure yet, so it just depends on what we're going to play it on. But either way, I know for sure I do want to get this game at one point, but I'm sure as hell not going to pre-order it, and I would really advise you all, please just do the same. Now, yes, it is kind of a overall we as gamers have to work together on this, but at the same time, it's just, you don't want to waste $60 on a product that isn't going to work. Oh, and last thing kind of about the beta itself, the game played quite well. I was playing on Xbox One, I really didn't have any issues with it, like gameplay-wise. The only technical issue I honestly ran into was when I paused the game, it completely locked up like everything. Like I would try and select an option and it would take about 10 or 15 seconds to change over to that option, and my frame rate just completely dipped down, and I actually ended up getting killed because I was stuck in the pause menu. So this is one of those games you could pretty much commit suicide by going into the pause menu in the middle of the game. I don't know if anyone else had this issue, but look up the top right corner of this gameplay right here. It says open beta, and I'm going to forgive it for that because this is not a retail product. This is the beta, and I can foresee that being patched definitely before the game comes out. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it so far and just Battlefield as a whole. But honestly, I'm really enjoying Battlefield 1. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I thought it was a pretty cool game. The multiplayer, and I'll probably enjoy the campaign too. We'll see what it has to offer. But anyways, this Mr. Mario is signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section, what you thought of the actual beta and everything if you did play it. And if you enjoyed this video, it'd be awesome if you left a like. Or dislike it if you want to, if you completely hated it. Because hey, for all you know, I could be selling out to EA, which I'm not, trust me. But anyways, this Mr. Mario is signing off for real this time. Later, everyone.